mom here and former educator. I am currently listening to Wild and Free. Highly recommend. It is basically a call for modern parents to really take a look at their kids' childhoods and get back to simplicity and the basics. And for someone who has been homeschooling and basically unschooling for 13 years, it is interesting because I had to go through this deconstruction very early on in my parenting, that my kids are not going to be fulfilling basic, check marks, milestones at the pace of their peers. And some are going to overexceed basic, milestones of their peers. And so every one of my kids' milestones have been in different places, different times. And me as a former teacher with a master's, I'm thinking I'm a failure if my kid doesn't fulfill this check box and checklist as, the other peers and what I have been, so accustomed to learning. And so if you feel like your kid is not fulfilling milestones the same pace as other kids, do not despair. None of my kids learned how to read by kindergarten. They all learned how to read second, third grade. My third grader now is reading at a kindergarten level. And some of you are thinking, oh, well, how is this possible? Well, am I reading to my kids every day? Yes. Am I paying for all of the Hooked on Phonics and reading apps? Yes. Sometimes the puzzle pieces are not put together, and it's at no fault or guilt to me. Kids just learn at different levels. But what I don't want to do is squelch their fire for learning, their fire for curiosity. What I don't want to do is make them feel like they're less than, or they have failed in life if they don't fulfill this checkbox. And so I am constantly trying to find reading materials that spark love, spark interest. We're constantly reading in this home, constantly having books around. We're buying books everywhere. We're going to every library. We're going to every bookstore. We sign up for every reading program. I mean, we're really making sure that the love of learning and the love of books is in this home, and they see us read books. They see us talk about, literature. We do read aloud. So I am not worried about my kids not having literacy skills. What I am more worried about is me trying to take that love of learning away from them, which the love of learning is for life. That's what I teach with my kids. The love of learning is for life. We can take classes the rest of our lives. We can get our doctorate at 80. We can write a book at 60. Like, there's no finish line of learning. We're constantly having our brains filled with knowledge and how to apply that in life. And so if you feel like you're being discouraged right now, that your kid is not fulfilling milestones, or you feel like you're a failure, or you feel like what have you, I just want to let you know there is no finish line. And I would rather have an adult at 20 really find a love of learning and find a love of literacy that maybe they never had as a child, as opposed to a young kid that feels like they're being forced or pushed or pressed to fulfill a certain checkbox by a certain grade. Because in life, adults don't care. You never see an adult in a social setting that's like, ooh, what grade did you graduate? What level reading were you? What GPA were you? Like, hardly ever. And those that care don't care, okay? But the important thing is that when they grow up to be wonderful, adjusted adults, they can be intelligent, they can have intelligent conversations that are filled with empathy, that have an open mind, and they just have this passion for educating themselves and continuing to growing in that area. So anyway, if you have any questions on homeschooling in the state of Virginia, I've been doing it for a long time. Would love to see your DMs. And peace out, guys. Keep learning fun.